Welcome to day one of my first 30-day challenge. So while I got off to a bit of a rocky start, I think we are very well on our way to redefining some things, and that's really exciting. So while I'm still trying to figure out how this is going to work, right now I'm doing a midday check-in, let's call it. So I had a couple opportunities today to do things that took me out of my comfort zone. I was walking my dogs and in the midst of recording my thoughts when I could have continued recording my thoughts or turned the recorder off because all of a sudden someone appeared around a bend. I was walking down the street and heard those fateful words, "Excuse me." If you've ever traveled to or lived in a large city, those words can leave your stomach in knots. You never quite know what the "excuse me" will lead to. Today, I opted to turn around and look at the person who had asked for my insight, and I'm glad I did. I think too often in today's very connected world, do we avoid personal connection? Even the most minor connection of a brief conversation. The gentleman was looking for his dentist office, and I helped him find the correct address. Very simple. And I also wished him luck at the dentist. It's normally not the most favored place for people to go. I met someone today that I didn't know and had been introduced by a mutual connection. I took my dog to the vet. Now, many people taking the dog to the vet is a run-of-the-mill experience. I have a rescue. He has behavioral issues. So taking him to the vet is nerve-wracking for both him and myself. And we went, and nothing bad happened, and we successfully navigated the veterinary clinic, the technicians, with no adverse reactions for any humans or animals. So it was successful. It still threw me out of my comfort zone. Some of those things are more in the day-to-day banalities of life, and other situations, such as when I answered the gentleman who asked for directions. I could have experienced that entirely differently. So I'm glad, even though my stomach dropped when I heard "excuse me," I chose to engage rather than ignore. And I think we were both better off for it. So I will consider day one largely a success. My minor failure, which was more habit than even thought. I was taking my dogs to the park and we were on a walk. I have a strict no technology approach to these walks. I make an exclusion for recording devices because I find that when I'm walking, I can sometimes have fantastic ideas, thoughts, things to follow up on. So I've gotten into the habit of bringing a recording device with me. And I was spouting off this morning, brainstorming ideas for this conversation actually. And as soon as I spotted someone in the distance, I turned it off. Rather than continuing, facing that fear of, I don't know, discovery, mockery, I have no idea. But that initial reaction of, oh, this isn't appropriate, this isn't, only crazy people talk to themselves at parks. I don't believe that, but I'm sure that's some of the thoughts but it wasn't even thoughts. It was a response. I didn't think about it. I just did it. So part of this journey for me is to not react and to actually think through, why am I making certain decisions? Why am I doing certain things? Why am I not doing other things? So we'll call today a success. And I look forward to hearing about your successes, your setbacks on this 30-day challenge.